So one big story from the Super Bowl is that President Biden did not sit down for a pre-Super Bowl interview. It has been the tradition for the past several years. The White House and the network put out conflicting statements about what happened. Fox Network saying one thing. For a while, it appeared the president was going to be sitting down with a couple of Fox's hosts, and then there was a plan to have him sit down with a couple of hosts from Fox Soul, which is the network's streaming platform. That interview was canceled. So Niall Stanage from the White House is joining me. I don't know why this is. First of all, it seems as though President Biden didn't want to sit down with Fox. I know that George W. Bush did the first pre-Super Bowl interview in 2004. President Obama did it in 2009. And then President Trump actually skipped an interview in 2018 with NBC. So we can't assume, we can't speculate, but what's Washington saying?
Well, I'll tell you what the White House is saying, Adrienne, because I spoke with a source there early this morning. The White House's view is that it was Fox that ultimately cancelled this interview. And the White House position is they wanted to do something a little bit different. That would have been an interview with Fox Soul, a streaming platform aimed at Black Americans during Black History Month in the Super Bowl that for the first time had two Black starting quarterbacks. Fox, by the White House's account, said if you do that, you also have to do an interview with the main Fox channel. The White House said no. Fox then pulled the Fox Soul interview, and that was that. The White House does have a bone to pick with Fox over this idea that the Fox Soul interview was subsequently rearranged. They say that just never happened.
It's just messy. I don't. In one sense, it's like
messy.
Whatever. But I think the bigger story, honestly, it's like whatever. It just looks like there was a lack of planning on somebody's part. But the president is facing pushback because I know you're laughing. I'm just serious now. It's like, who cares? But this particular...
I'm serious. I'm laughing in agreement with you, Adrienne. I'm not laughing in dissent. So
okay, well, yeah, I know you're not laughing at me. You're laughing with me. But the president, he hasn't really sat down one-on-one as much as his recent predecessors. I mean, I think he's done, what, 40 interviews compared to 223 that former President Trump agreed to by the same time of his term. So do you think there's a reason why?
I do, and I think it gets down to that analysis that any business person could say about cost versus benefit. There is a benefit, obviously, to doing TV interviews. It allows you to reach a wide audience. It perhaps, in relation to some networks, allows you to reach an audience that you would not normally do. The problem is, if you make a mistake, if you make a gaffe, which we do know the president has a propensity for, that then is seen by that huge audience, and it is replayed numerous times, and things that are on TV always have a greater force than things that are, for example, print interviews. So there are real drawbacks in general, and to this president in particular, with doing TV interviews. And I think that's why the White House is cautious around that.
Well, and some people at home probably are saying, well, the president has gotten in trouble for going off the script, for ad-libbing, as he did at the State of the Union, but that wasn't the first time. And perhaps this is a little bit of quality control, if we can say it that way.
Yeah, or message management, message discipline, you know? I mean, the White House, as any political operation, prefers to push its message of the day as rigorously as possible with as few distractions as possible. One of the things that has bedeviled this White House at times is the president's propensity to introduce those distractions by ad-libbed comments, sometimes about very serious topics like Taiwan or like the Russia-Ukraine war. And so they're not eager to get into that situation, especially when the White House feels that it came off a pretty strong State of the Union and is in a relatively good space, notwithstanding the president's rather tepid approval ratings.
Well, speaking of interviews, you have one planned with former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. So you want to give us a little preview, a commercial for that?
Well, I'm always happy to give you a commercial. I'm interviewing the Secretary in a few hours' time. Obviously, he's been talked about as a potential 2024 presidential contender. He also has a book out about his time as Secretary of State and CIA Director before that. So, as I say, the interview planned for a couple of hours. I'd be happy to tell you more about it after it happens, Adrienne.
All right, Niall, we look forward to that. We'll watch for it. Thank you as always.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.